Hello everyone, welcome to Energy First Golf. In this video, it's a continuation from our previous video. We're going to continue to talk about release. And really, in this video, I want to try to debunk a lot of your questions and a lot of what I call the cliches, right? So first of all, I mentioned from the last video, I said don't hit down on the ball. It's very simple. In a golf swing, there's no such thing as downforce. Now, if you're hitting the ball, there is downforce. But if you're actually swinging, there's no downforce. Because really, your golf club's never traveling in a what? In a direct, right? Direct vertical sense. So there's no downforce in a golf swing. Now, if you use your arms like this, you might create downforce, but then you're just hitting the ball. So please don't hit down on the ball. There's no such thing hit down on the ball. And there's no such thing as timing in a golf swing. If you say that, hey, my timing is off today, then you don't have a golf swing. Okay. Now, I know a lot of viewers say, hey, what'd you put the towel here for? So, the reason why I'm gonna use this towel today is I want to make sure there's a lot of cliches. Like, say, for example, again, there's a lot of tour players. You know, Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, Dustin Johnson. You know, Ricky Fowler. I mean, on and on. And they will obviously would tell you some of their thoughts. But understanding right now, remember what they're doing and what they're feeling, a lot of times it may not match. I don't know if you guys have watched this video with Tiger saying that, hey, you know, sometimes what I feel and what I do is different. And then he said that if his feeling and what he's doing match, he plays the best golf. So that's the reason why a lot of times when you hear people say, hey, Rory say I squat down, you know, there's coming up, you know, I kick up. Really, you as an amateur should never work on those things because all of those quote unquote upward movement, I call it, you know, from Energy First Golf, we call the two-dimensional movement, is really a byproduct of your rotational torque in a golf swing. If you are swinging and if you're learning how to swing and try to work on your swing. Okay. For example, what is a rotational torque creating a two-dimensional movement, which is up and down movement or side-to-side movement? In a golf swing, a lot of times you will hear tour players say, hey, I squat down and come up, you know, all this crazy stuff. Really, again, it is just their feeling, okay? It's not necessarily what they're doing. So for adult learners, I don't think it's beneficial to you to learn that way. Because from adult learn in golf and a natural born learner, they're very different. Just like I say, my son, he speaks perfect English without learning ABCD. So it's different process. I mean, when I learned English, I had to use a dictionary every day. All right. So let's explain to you what they mean when they say, "Hey, I'm moving up and down when I feel like I'm using the ground." You know, and please don't use the ground force. There's no ground force. The ground is not feeding you energy. You're just standing on the ground. Okay, that's some really far-fetched stuff. Okay. All right. So first, let me show you. For example, I have a towel right here, right now. I'm gonna make it shorter, right? So if this is the length of the towel. So there is a distance between the top and the bottom. Now, if I turn the towel, would you agree that the distance from the top to the bottom is shortening? Now, is there any force of me pulling it shorter? No, there's no. The only force is I'm turning, right? So now, obviously, if I release the turn from the torque, it's going to extend. But is there a energy that's pulling the body up? No. So in other words, the muscles in the body in the golf swing, you're never doing what? You're never saying, hey, I'm going to move up, right? Which is exactly what most, if you're doing that, then you have early release. In other words, you're still hitting the ball. You're not compressing your body, creating spine angle, and turning through the ball. Okay? So here's another example. If you have a very fast car, if you see those Formula One racing, before they rev up the engine, right? The car is in the starting line and the engine's revving up. And before they take off, you will always see the front end of the car dips a little bit, right? Again, from the physics, that's exactly what a rotational torque or the energy, correct energy, is making the car drop the front. But is there a downforce? No, there is not a downforce is making the car go down. So that's the reason why, if you have watched our previous video, we talked about 2D versus 3D. Golf is 3D. So any type of upward movement, like I'm coming up, or it's just a byproduct of what? Your rotational torque. Okay? So please do not work on some of the crazy movements like this, and then you're coming up. Then you're not maintaining spine angle. And the truth is, even tour players, again, like I said, tour players may do that. I see people do this, right? But when they actually swing, they don't do that. Then you ask them why. They probably couldn't tell you why they do it. It's because my coach tell me to do it. Again, if you're an adult learning golf, you want to learn it properly. You don't want to have like, oh, I maybe need to do this. No, then you're learning what? Incorrect muscle memory. For most talented golfers, which they started playing golf very young, they already have the energy. They know how to turn the body and turn the court. So whatever, again, say, I could not jump like Justin Thomas and release. No way. So they're very talented. Just like my son learned English without knowing English and speaks better English than me. Okay? Here's another one. I know I mentioned Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth is a pure right-arm releaser. Now here's another example. We're going to talk about block spin or block release. Dustin Johnson. He's a pure block spin releaser. He does not know what is a rip spin. If Dustin Johnson knows what is a rip spin, my goodness, he would be so much better golfer. But unfortunately, he doesn't know. So there are certain things most tour players doesn't know. Okay? Now, why do I teach the way I teach? Is because I'm an adult learner. My feeling is built based on a struggle. So they're real. Everything I'm telling you right now is really real feeling. Because why? Just like I learned English, I have a process of learning this language. Now I have learned golf swing. I had a process of learning this golf swing. Most talented players, most PGA Tour players, they learn it with natural talent. And the truth is, in the world there's so many junior golfers, not everyone has that type of talent. So those guys on PGA Tour, on the LPGA Tour, they're extremely lucky. Because I see kids all day, every day. Now they may not be my students, but I know some of them really have to work hard on it based on correct instruction. But most of them, if they don't swing, they're just hitting the ball. That's the reason why those guys on tour, they're very gifted and talented. They already have what? Correct energy. Nobody, as an adult starting golf, has correct energy. So energy first. Alright, so hope you enjoy watching this video. Click like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click this button here to subscribe to the channel. And we also have 2 recommendations if you want to know more about energy first golf. I will see you next time.